say the culture is incredibly toxic.
Calls for accountability inside the Cherry Creek School District.
Denver 7 investigates, uncovers allegations of intimidation and retaliation tied to a controversial power couple at the top.
I think it's fear-based leadership.
The married superintendent and HR director accused of abusing their authority.
How did you react when you learned our team has been asked to investigate the culture inside the district?
Thank God, finally somebody is listening and going to do something about it.
Tonight, current and former employees speak only to Denver 7, hoping their voices will force change.
Thanks for joining us for Denver 7 News at 6. I'm Jessica Porter.
I'm Shannon Ogden. Glad you're with us tonight. And we have questions about power and influence inside of one of Colorado's largest school districts. We're looking into accusations of a toxic culture brought on by the relationship between two of the district's most powerful employees.
Tonight, Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kowaleski unravels the details with exclusive interviews from insiders, calling for accountability and hoping for action.
For 75 years.
It's arguably the most respected school district in Colorado.
A promise of educational excellence.
A district with a long history of success in the classroom and on the athletic fields.
Cherry Creek wins another one.
And a district with a smoldering controversy involving two of its most powerful and prominent leaders.
I think people don't feel safe. You can't question the superintendent because his wife is head of HR.
Is there a plausible reason that this is allowed?
I wouldn't know what that plausible reason would be.
You're hearing voices of frustration, concerns raised about the culture created in this corner office by Cherry Creek Superintendent Chris Smith, and in this building by his wife, Chief Human Resource Officer Brenda Smith. Is it a small problem?
I think it's a huge problem, and I think it hurts our students. When your head of HR is also the wife of the superintendent, there's nowhere to go.
During the past 3 months, Denver 7 Investigates has interviewed more than a dozen current and former Cherry Creek employees. Most declined to be interviewed on camera. 3 had the courage to share their perspectives. You've asked us to disguise your identity and alter your voice. Why?
Out of fear of retaliation.
Describe right now the culture inside the school district.
I'd say the culture is incredibly toxic. People need to know what the leadership looks like in Cherry Creek and how people who push back or give feedback or disagree are pushed out.
Is the school board aware of this conflict, this controversy?
The school board is very much aware of this controversy and unfortunately, for whatever reason, has made the decision to not take any action.
In fact, Denver 7 Investigates is aware of nearly a dozen complaint letters circulating inside the school district, several sent directly to the school board, including this highly critical 8-page letter sent more than a year ago. 2 district principals accusing Superintendent Smith of unprofessional conduct, retaliation against employees, and misallocation of budgetary items, including expenses and salaries. And during an investigation that followed, district employees raised concerns of the conflict of interest created by the superintendent and his wife.
I saw a lot of fear tactics, intimidation tactics, a lot of it's my way or no way. They have a room that they meet employees in that's called the crying room. It's nicknamed crying room. It's their goal to get employees to cry in there when they meet with them.
That's one opinion, but you should know it's an opinion shared by other current and former Cherry Creek employees. And the crying room is also specifically mentioned in the letter sent by the 2 current principals. They detailed the Human Resources Department operates with the intent that people are guilty even prior to an investigation. They refer to the conference room in their office as the cry room.
I think the superintendent is leveraging his relationship with his wife as head of HR to make staffing and personnel decisions that benefit him.
In the months following the principal's scathing letter, the district hired a law firm to investigate those accusations. Its conclusions included Superintendent Smith did not clearly violate district policy, But based on the complaints, the report stated Smith has exhibited unprofessional behavior and recommended executive leadership training coaching.
I think the only thing that can fix it is getting past the dirty little secret and making sure it's not a secret anymore.
And in regards to the husband-wife power structure, the district-funded internal investigation also concluded even if there is not an actual conflict of interest, there is certainly a perceived one across the district that stems from the Smiths' relationship, their high-level district positions, and reporting structure. The report was less definitive on claims of retaliation and misappropriation.
As a parent and employee, I don't understand how that has been allowed to happen for so long.
But that district-funded investigation fell short of calling for change. Instead, it includes there is no direct evidence their relationship has impacted their actions or inactions.
From your vantage point, is it a problem for a superintendent and the head of HR to be married?
It's a big problem.
Michael Nalick is a professor at the University of Denver and an expert on corporate structure.
More than a dozen current and former employees have reached out to us. What's your read?
The point is that there's perceived impropriety just because of their positions. Whether or not they're valid or not, it's that perceived impropriety. Even if it doesn't occur, it still negatively affects the organization.
And here's an interesting and telling twist to this story. The district-funded internal investigation was not alone in condoning the continued roles of the superintendent and his wife. Denver 7 Investigates has learned the school board signed off on this power structure when Smith was named superintendent back in 2021. At the time, his wife, Brenda Smith, was already the district's chief human resources officer.
In the end, is the school board complicit here in allowing this activity, this relationship?
Yes, they are complicit because, again, they permitted it. And so the fact that they permitted it and they created a policy that's explicitly permitted exceptions to rules in which they had carved out, it is on them.
Employees have been saying this needs to be fixed, and by all indications, those concerns have been ignored. What's that say?
That says that they are trying to protect these individuals.
And after analyzing the facts and details in the Denver 7 report, this expert in corporate culture arrived at this conclusion.
If you were brought in as a consultant to fix this, what would you do?
I would naturally say one of them has to go. You can't continue to have both of them employed in that relationship.
Clearly, it's a question we wanted to raise with Superintendent Smith.
We're going to ask to speak to Superintendent Smith. Do you think he will answer our questions?
No. I don't know that he has the courage to answer your questions, honestly.
In fact, Denver 7 Investigates sent multiple emails and text messages to members of Smith's team, requesting an interview, requesting to hear the superintendent's side of this controversy.
When the district declined to guarantee an interview with the superintendent, we came here, his regularly scheduled meeting with principals and managers. He knew we were outside. He knew we wanted to ask questions. He never came out. But we did get some information. An inside source recorded that meeting. It included a telling message from the superintendent to his leadership team.
There's going to be a new story about me coming out this week, most likely, and probably not going to be the best story about me.
What's the one question you would ask the superintendent right now?
You have always told us that if we had questions, if we had concerns, if we needed to talk, your door's open. We have had to take to sending anonymous communications, doing secret interviews. What is it about your leadership that you believe got us to this point?
We also wanted to ask that question and many more. At a recent school board meeting, we were greeted by nearly a dozen district-paid security guards. Now watch what happens after the meeting wrapped up.
We are adjourned. Happy holidays.
We don't allow anybody to approach the board, sir.
Superintendent Smith, Tony Kovaleski from Denver 7. One question, sir. Will you promise to answer our questions? You're walking away.
Still no word from Superintendent Smith. The district did follow with this statement. There is no statute requiring public officials to agree to on-camera interviews with journalists, and complaints against the district have been made by a small handful of employees who are resistant to Superintendent Smith's
leadership. Regarding the superintendent's 2021 appointment, it was not seen as a conflict of interest then, nor is it one today. The two principals who sent the letter sparking that investigation declined multiple requests to answer our questions. Now, you also need to know the district says all signed complaints were investigated and all allegations were found to be baseless and unfounded. Yes, you may have heard I am retiring, but our reporting on this story doesn't stop here. I will be back with more, including reaction from the newly elected school board, and hopefully we will have an interview with Superintendent Smith. And I can tell you this district may want to say it's just a few people coming forward, may want to paint them as disgruntled. Our phones have been ringing since that promotion started airing on Sunday. We've talked to several. The list continues to grow. The frustration is much greater than they're trying to say it is.
All right. Nice work until the very end, Tony. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. And if you have any information on this story you'd like to share, Tony wants to hear from you. Scan the QR code on your screen for ways to get in touch with him or email him directly at tony@denver7.com.